Stadium in Whiting, Indiana. Northwest Indiana Oilmen baseball is on the air. It's the Northwest Indiana Oilmen up against the Southland Vikings. Tonight we're booming throughout the region on the Voice of the Region, AM 1230 WJOB, and available across the World Wide Web on Region Sports, JED TV, and the Oilmen Facebook page. I'm Brandon Vickery, glad to be joined by Brandon Januska. And Brandon, before we get to the Vikings, let's start with the Oilmen. It's the team that has taken care of business for the most part at home this season, and they moved even in the loss column with Lake County with a big win over the first-place Corn Dogs last night.
Yeah, huge win yesterday. The Corn Dogs have played more games, so obviously they do stand at the top of the standings at the moment, but to win the head-to-heads is what really counts, especially at this point in the season. And so far, for the most part, the Oilmen have done that in recent games.
Speaking of winning the head-to-heads, this is a Vikings team that has had its way against the Oilmen. Seems like this Southland team always comes in here to Oil City charged up to take on the Oilmen.
Yeah, you mentioned the success at home for the Oilmen. The only team to beat them here at Oil City Stadium is the Vikings, twice the last two times with Nolan Vilcek on the mound. Good news for Oilmen fans, though. He will not be the starting pitcher here today, but the Vikings always come ready to play, and they're always excited for these Oil City matchups.
This is a Vikings team that has some separation for third now in the standings. They've surged clearly into that 3 spot in the Northern League standings.
Yeah, the Miracle have faltered a little bit. They've dropped 5 straight now, and the Vikings are coming off a very hot week. They had won 6 of 7 going into yesterday's game. They dropped that one to the Generals, but as you said, still sitting above 500 and a good gap between 3rd and 4th place.
We'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back. Our pregame show continues next. I'll get you the starting lineups, and we'll get you set for first pitch. Back in 2 minutes with more pregame after this on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
First time in 30 years, Coors Light has an ad in the big game.
Actually, this is a Miller Lite commercial.
Mountain Cold Refreshment. It's Miller time. Great taste. Less filling. Cold as the Rockies.
Coors commercial. Miller commercial.
Actually, it's a Blue Moon commercial.
I am a success.
I am the future.
I am.
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 I am Ivy Tech Community College.
Are you?
Wait! Let me hear Lando Frost. Premium meat. Delicious. And no byproducts.
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
It's common for back patients to have a lot of questions, but at Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we ask a lot of questions too. We want to know about their jobs, their hobbies, their lifestyle. Because spinal conditions are oftentimes complex and multifaceted, the best solutions take into account work and lifestyle. The spine is at the basis of everything that we do and who we are. For us, surgery is not the first priority. Finding the least invasive option to give you your life back is.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care.
Back at Oil City Stadium, the lineup cards have been exchanged, the ground rules have been discussed. That's my indication to give you the starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with the visitors from Southland. Leading off is third baseman Jimmy Gergoni. Batting second in center field, Lucas Pajau. Batting third and starting behind the plate, Matt Merck. Hitting cleanup is second baseman Shamar Harris. It's Harris hitting fourth. Batting fifth is right fielder Bryce Nevels. Nevels will bat fifth and play right field. Batting sixth is first baseman Caleb Rhodes. Batting seventh, left fielder Mike Gentile. Gentile hitting seventh. Batting eighth, designated hitter Hobbs Dunn. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Vikings is shortstop Jack Fitzharris. All that in back of Southland right-hander Jack Otis. It's Otis going for the Vikings. Now here's the Oilmen starting lineup that the righty will be opposing. Leading off and playing third base, Kevin Denty. Batting second and getting the start at second base, Graham Mastros. Batting third is center fielder, longtime Oilman, Chris Baker. Hitting cleanup and playing shortstop, Jaden Comia. Comia hits fourth. Batting fifth, first baseman, Brendan O'Connor. Hitting sixth in left field, Brendan Stressler. Stressler hitting sixth. Batting seventh is designated hitter Ethan Rossi. Hitting eighth and playing right field, Nick Doherty. Doherty hitting eighth. And rounding out the 1 through 9 for the Oilmen. And starting behind the plate, Brennan Phillips. All that in back of Northwest Indiana right-hander Joey Turek. Oilmen are being introduced, and they're taking the field wearing their black uniforms, gold numbers on their backs. They've got the gold Oilman lettering across the front of the chest, the white pants, the black cap, and the gold Oilman logo on the front of the cap. The Vikings are lined up in their uniforms. We'll get you those descriptions in just a moment, but first we pause and join the playing of tonight's national anthem. Toss it to the PA and join the anthem now. Here in just a moment, we will bring that to you, Oilmen and Vikings, and here we have it. Have the playing of tonight's national anthem and the yelling of Let's Go Oilmen. Well, it's Turek against Otis. It's the Oilmen against the Vikings, the latest installment of the Northern League's oldest rivalry, and it's next on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Rise and shine.
All right. WJOB's Jim Deedlow starts your weekdays at 6 a.m. Jed in the region, and be sure to follow us on Facebook. WJOB, AM 1230 and 104.7 FM.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Joey Turek takes the mound for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen, and he is all set to toss out today's first pitch of our ball game here tonight at Oil City. Here's Turek into the motion. First pitch comes at 7:09. It's a swing and a miss by Jimmy Gergoni, and we are underway with a count of no balls and 1 strike. Turek working quickly. He comes back 0-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air, foul off to the right, not a play. And the count goes to 0-2. The game time temperature 74 degrees. It is overcast here in Whiting, mostly cloudy this evening. A few storms passed through earlier, but it is dry, and we are ready for baseball with this game underway. The 0-2 high and outside for a ball to count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Tell you about some more details here in a moment. The 1-2 is taken low and away for a ball 2-2. The Vikings are wearing their red uniforms with white numbers on their backs. They've got the white Viking lettering across the front of the chest with a black stripe behind those letters. The 2-2 is swung on and lifted foul over our heads and out of play. They have the gray pants tonight, the red cap, and as always, the darker build of that cap and the Viking logo on the front of the caps for Southland. Here's the 2-2, swinging a slow roller to the right side. This is picked up by O'Connor, who takes it to the bag himself. He kicks the first base cushion. One batter, one away here in the opening frame.
Yeah, nice job by Joey Turek just attacking Gorgoni in that at-bat. He was a quick worker. The longest it took was whenever the ball was fouled off, and he just needed one back.
Yeah, it's Turek coming in and to play today with a 257 earned run average, his 5th start of the year for Northwest Indiana. Pajau bats and goes too far. It's strike one here. No balls and 1 strike. The umpires, Paul Wojcicki, calling the balls and strikes. And our good friend, the umpire assigner in the Northern League, Mike Clay, will make all the decisions on the base paths. The 0-1 is fouled, and the count is now 0-2. The lineup card exchange took place a few minutes ago. It was Sullivan Stickan exchanging the lineup card for Southland, and Adam Enright doing the duties for Northwest Indiana. The 0-2 is high for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Turek, we'll tell you more about his numbers here in just a moment. 6'5", 185 for the right-hander from St. Ambrose. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He went after a pitch that broke downstairs, and Pajau out number 2 on another nice pitch by Joey Turek.
Yeah, he's looking sharp to start off this outing, and you mentioned it's his 5th start. It's his 2nd one against the Vikings. He had a nice strong 6 innings the first time these two teams met up with each other, went 5 innings last time. Giving up just 1 run in the first start, 5 last time out.
Yeah, 2 very different starts against Southland, as you mentioned. One went quite well, the other not so much. This is inside for a ball 1-0, as on the 16th of June, 5 runs, 4 earned, 5 hits over those 5 innings and took the loss. Here's a ball that swung on and lifted foul off to the left and out of play. So not terrible, but not one of his better starts of the year, where the June 10th outing that you talked about, just 4 hits in those 6 innings, 1 run, and it was unearned. He struck out 6 and walked none while getting the win. Here's the 1-1 to Merck. This is swung on and smashed to left. That's a base hit. The first hit of the day belongs to Matt Merck, and it comes with 2 down here in this first.
Matt Merck has swung a hot bat for the team. He is the team leader in RBIs with 14 driven in this season and right around that 300 mark.
Shamar Harris with the runner on first and 2 down. Turek from Woodridge, Illinois, a product of Downers Grove South High School. His most recent outing was a masterpiece against the Lake County Corn Dogs. Here's the first pitch. It's a called strike on Harris. 8 innings. He scattered 6 hits. He pitched shutout ball, walking just 1 and striking out 4 to get the win. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. This is taken off the plate away for a ball, 1-1. And it was the first time in the history of the Corn Dogs that the Corn Dogs were shut out in a game. And it came at the against the right-hander Turek. The 1-1 is grounded foul left side, and the count 1-2.
Yeah, that's a huge accomplishment for anyone in this league. I know it's only the 2nd season, but still that they won the league last year, set the league record in wins. A very tough team to beat, and they're picking up right where they left off. Tough to shut down.
1-2 on Shamar Harris. Turek comes back. A check swing, the pitch outside, and there's an appeal. No swing, says Mike Clay, as he makes his first call of the day, and the count goes to 2-2.
Turek keeps it close to the zone so far today, and that's the key. We've seen it a lot throughout the Northern League, wildness among pitchers. The Vikings had that problem yesterday.
Here's the 2-2, a check swing and a foul. He didn't mean to go after that pitch, but he got a piece of it and fouled it back to the bricks.
And this is what really kept the Vikings off balance in that first start for Turek, is that he just goes right after you, doesn't give you a whole lot of time to get yourself set in between pitches. And for some of the younger hitters especially, it can be tough.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The count on Harris. The lead at first for Merck, being held by O'Connor. Here's the 2-2. This is high for a ball. A snap throw is not in time as Phillips snaps it down to first with a back pick. And instead we go full at 3-2, and Merck will be in motion with this payoff pitch.
Yeah, the throw back. Merck not really a stolen base threat. He does have 2 on the season, though.
Here comes the 3-2. This is taken for strike 3 call. Breaking ball got him, and the inning ends. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for Southland in the first. We've played 1. It's the Vikings nothing and the Oilmen coming to bat on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Hold up, now do what you do, get loud, go ahead, get loose, get down to business, tell everyone, nothing's off limits, you can have anything you want.
The JED TV Sports Network is now the exclusive home to 8 schools. Subscribe today for a full year of sports coverage by using code JEDTV50 at checkout. Visit JEDTV.com for more information.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything.
Bottom of inning number 1 coming up, and it's time to welcome a new sponsor here to our broadcast. We're happy to have White Castle along. For a limited time only, you can shift gears, reroute your GPS to your nearest White Castle and get 12 classic new spicy buffalo or new Hidden Valley Ranch chicken rings for only $3.99. Try them all today. It's Oilman Baseball, and it's brought to you by our friends at White Castle, the newest sponsor of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Kevin Denty is going to lead things off here for the Oilmen against Jack Otis, who makes his Vikings debut. Januska, what should we expect from the young right-hander Jack Otis?
Otis, 6 foot, 205, right-handed thrower, and he's out of Joliet Junior College. Just completed a great freshman season there, helping them make it to the Junior College World Series. He was the closer and actually led the country in saves with 13.
Here's the first pitch to Denty. It's taken high and outside for a ball. So trying to transition that into a starting role here for the Vikes.
Yeah, when he showed up today, the first question out of manager Sullivan Stickhand's mouth was, would you like to start or close today? And he said start.
Here's a strike call in the count 1-1. He throws a 2-seam fastball, slider, and a circle change with his velocity on the fastball 87 to 90. Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air, foul off to the left and out of play. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Denty, who's hitting .317 and leading things off today for the Oilmen.
Yeah, hot top of the lineup for the Oilmen, and so Otis just has to come right after them, much like what Turek just did in the top half.
Here's the 1-2. This is swung on and lifted in the air left side. A high pop fly. Gergoni, the third baseman, is underneath it. He gloves it, and that's the first out of the first inning. And Graham Mastros will step in against the Manuka, Illinois native and Manuka High School product, Jack Otis.
Graduated back in 2022. Again, finished his freshman season this past spring with Joliet Junior College, and it was Hobbs Dunn, who's also from JJC, who recruited him to the Vikings.
Graham Mastros stands in, swinging a foul at the plate. I've called many Oilman games from Joliet Junior College, the home of the Wolves. Wayne L. King Jr. Field. Oilmen have played there against a variety of different opponents, most notably the Joliet Admirals. No balls and a strike. The count on Mastros. Here's the 0-1. This is taken inside for a ball, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. And then I think the Generals played there at the beginning of their tenure as the Generals. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here comes the pitch on the way to Mastros. This is a strike called, and the count 1-2. That was a home to several different Northern League teams down through the years. JJC.
Otis is doing a nice job of mixing up pitches already. Sometimes you don't see that much difference in the first inning, but he's throwing a little bit of everything here in the early going.
1-2 fouled away, and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. So important to get off to a good start when you're making your debut with a team. You're stretched out as a starting pitcher. How are things going to go in that very first inning? That kind of sets the tone.
Yeah, and coming from the mindset of being a closer, that might play into that too. The fact that, hey, you know you're having to go a little bit longer in today's start as opposed to just 3 outs.
1-2 low and outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mastros.
So maybe pull out some pitches that you wouldn't normally use in the closing role.
2-2 with 1 away. Denty was retired on a high pop fly on the infield a moment ago. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. This is outside for a ball. We go full at 3-2. It's a little bit of rain in northwest Indiana earlier, but most of it missed the Whiting-Hammond area here. 3-2 the count on Mastros. Here comes the set and the payoff pitch on the way. This is taken outside for ball 4. It's a 1-out walk worked by Graham Mastros.
Nice at-bat from Mastros, just being patient and close takes throughout the at-bat. He ends up at first base.
Now Chris Baker, who has returned to the Oilmen lineup after battling a little bit of a shoulder issue. He is back in there for NWI. Hitting third and playing center field. Longtime member of the Oilmen. Here comes the pitch to him. It's looked at for a strike, and the count 0-1. See if he can get going a little bit, hitting just 205. He always gets on base at a high clip. Lead at first for Mastros. Here comes the set from Otis, and he's ready to deliver 0-1. Swung on and lifted foul the other way. Count goes to 0-2.
Otis has been getting that outside, whether it's to a righty or a lefty. He's staying away from the inner half for the most part to begin today's game, but he's gotten the call a few times on that outer edge.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is low and in for a ball. 1-2 is the count.
Of course, then he does try to go inside on that next one.
1-2, 1 away. Runner at first is Mastros. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It's taken outside this time, Januska, and the count evens at 2-2.
Tried to go with the fastball on that one. Wouldn't be surprised, 2-2, if he tries to go high heat again. Stick with the fastball.
2-2, 1 out here in the opening inning. Here's the break-even pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air, foul off to the left and out of play, and it remains 2-2 on Baker.
This is one thing that the Vikings saw a lot of yesterday, just long at-bats, a lot of at-bats going into double digits, players fouling them off. As a pitcher, it's really more advantageous for a hitter because you're going through every pitch you have in your arsenal.
Runner goes, the 2-2, look out. Baker gets nailed with the pitch. He's shaken up. He's going to shake it off and make his way toward first as he got nailed in the middle part of the body, and he will have a free base as Mastros was in motion with that pitch, but will be forced to second on the hit batsman. Now runners at first and second with 1 out for the cleanup man, Jaden Comia.
Yeah, and this is the last thing Sullivan Stickhand wants to see. He's seen a lot of this already this season, is putting base runners on without the ball being put in play. A walk and a hit by pitch, put 2 on for the Oilmen in the first.
Jaden Comia hitting .292. 2 home runs and 9 driven in. Here's a slow bouncer to the left side. They go to second. There's 1. That's all. It's a 5-4 fielder's choice. Safe at first, Comia advancing to third on the play as Mastros. But Baker is retired for the second out of the inning, and now the frame will rest on the shoulders of Brendan O'Connor.
I know they weren't able to turn it there, but the Vikings have turned a league-high 21 double plays this season. Didn't turn one yesterday. That snapped a streak of 11 straight games turning a double play.
There's a couple of factors that can go into that as we try to unpack that stat a little bit and pick your brain on it here in a moment. Runner from first goes, pitches low for a ball. They'll concede the stolen base. Diving in head first is Comia, but there was no throw. Pitch was ball 1 ball and no strikes on O'Connor, and now a base hit could drive in a pair. But part of that has to be the pitchers getting those ground balls, and the other part of that has to be the infield executing and working well together to turn 2. We'll get your thoughts here if we have time after this 1-0 pitch. Here comes the set from Otis and the 1-0. Taken high, ball 2.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. One big factor when I asked Sullivan Stickhand about it is a lot of times it's Colin Small at second base. He said he has probably the quickest hands of anyone he's ever coached over at second base, and so every time there's a chance, he's able to turn it quickly.
Here's the 2-0, swinging a ground ball toward short, and they only need one out, not the double play this time, as Fitzharris throws to first and the inning ends. Oilmen threaten but do not score. No runs, no hits, and they leave 2, both in scoring position. Now we've reached the end of the first. It's the Oilmen nothing and Southland nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasting, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded. Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Bryce Neville swings and misses at the first pitch from Joey Turek, and the count no balls and 1 strike. Turek coming back 0-1. He's worked pretty quickly so far here today. And the 0-1 on the way is taken low and outside for a ball. The count 1-1. We mentioned some of Turek's numbers. This is his 5th game, 5th start. He's seen a lot of these Vikes. Here's the 1-1 swing and a miss, and the count 1-2. 2-1 his record, 21 innings of work entering play tonight. 2.57 ERA, 18 hits allowed. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And I think the number that was perhaps most impressive there as he earns his 3rd strikeout of the day, and we toss those 3 strikeouts into this number for the season. It is now for the year 22 strikeouts and 2 walks for Joey Turek.
That's an incredible number, especially when you look around the Northern League. A lot of walks, a lot of hit by pitches. To have that kind of control is incredible.
Here's a strike called in the count 0-1. That is going to win you a lot of games.
Yes.
I don't care, not just in this league, at any level. Here comes the 0-1 on the way to Rhodes. This is taken for a strike, and it's 0-2. I mean, look at the way he just attacks the zone against opposing hitters.
Yeah, you see it all the time. The assessments of minor league pitchers, it's always, well, he throws hard, but control's an issue. That's like the most popular assessment of every pitcher in the minors. If you can throw strikes, you'll have success.
Especially here, Januska, where the hitters are using wood bats, and you just got to challenge guys. Here's the 1-2 swinging a grounder foul. I think that's one reason why coaches are so frustrated when guys struggle to throw strikes, because often if you just challenge guys with these wood bats, it doesn't carry the way it does during the spring for some of these college players. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rhodes. Here's the 1-2. It's a ground ball to the right side, slowly hit. Mastros comes in. He throws to first in time to get Rhodes for the 2nd out of the 2nd inning.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The wood bats don't carry nearly as well. You'll give up some long balls if you're just laying it over. We have seen some home runs in the league this year. But in general, more often than not, it'll be a lazy fly ball if you can get the balls in the air with the wood bats, or more likely ground balls.
Here's a line or 1 hopper to short. Comilla fields it on a bounce, throws to first in time, and it's a quick 1-2-3 2nd inning worked by Joey Turek and the Oilmen. After an inning and a half, it remains Oilmen nothing and the Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
La
JED TV app is available on your smartphone and streaming devices. If you downloaded the WGOB Network app, then you're good to go. The same app with a new name. If not, head to the App Store on your phone or streaming device. And right now, you'll be able to watch JED in the Region Rush Hour, and all PNW and high school sports right in the palm of your hand or in the comfort of your own living room. That's the JED TV app, available on all streaming devices.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
Well, we've got a final score from over in Highland to tell you about, and it's some of our favorite words in the English language. The Corn Dogs have lost. That's right. The Corn Dogs lose their game today to the Indiana Panthers by a score of 12-6, which means the Oilmen can move into first place if they win this game here tonight against the Southland Vikings. After beating the Corn Dogs last night, the Oilmen are one game behind, and it's actually 2 wins but tied in the loss column. So if the Oilmen can, here comes the pitch on the way, taken for a strike, and the count 0-1. The Oilmen can get to 16-7 tonight as they enter play at 15-7, and the Corn Dogs slip to 17-8. I believe the Oilmen would have a higher winning percentage and would be in first place. Here's the 0-1. This is taken for a strike, and the count is 0-2 on Stressler.
Yeah, and the Panthers, one of the few teams that have had a lot of success this year against the Corn Dogs. I believe that's the 3rd time they've beaten them this season.
It's funny how certain matchups work out that way. Here's a 2-strike pitch, swinging a ground ball foul. For example, the Oilmen have had pretty good success against the Corn Dogs ever since that opening series. The Oilmen have struggled against the Vikings. Then the Vikings have struggled against the Corn Dogs in turn.
Yeah, Vikings 3-2 against the Oilmen, to your point, but 0-5 against the Corn Dogs. The Corn Dogs and the Generals, the top of the standings and the bottom of the standings, are the 2 teams the Vikings have a losing record against.
Stressler broke his bat on this foul ball, and he'll get a new piece of lumber to stand back in for another 0-2. Elsewhere in the league, a couple games started earlier than us today. That game we mentioned was a 5 p.m. start, and then the Generals are out in Elkhart County taking on the Miracle. That game's toward the back half of the game as well. Here comes the 2-strike pitch, swung on, lifted foul. It remains no balls and 2 strikes. It's the Miracle 8 and the Generals 3 in the 6th inning out in Elkhart County.
Miracle have to win to keep pace with the Panthers in the standings for 4th place.
Yeah, how about that? They're tied coming into play today. Here's the 2-strike pitch. This is inside for a ball. And we talked about it in the open. The Vikings have kind of a stranglehold now on the 3rd spot in the Northern League.
Yeah, they've had some success, like I mentioned in the pregame, over the last week coming in. Just 2 losses in their last 8.
Here's the 1-2. This is swung on and lifted in the air to left. Long run for the left fielder, able to make the catch as Gentile. He hauls it in, and that's the first out of the 2nd inning.
That was a good read from Gentile. He was on his horse immediately off the bat. And right around that corner, right underneath that 300 mark, right by the foul pole, made the grab.
Rossi standing in next. Scoreless game as we play inning number 2. Oilmen have not been in first place all season long. They could end the night in that position, but they have to take care of business here against a team that has given them fits. Here's the first pitch to Rossi, a swing and a miss, a tip into the mid of Merck, and the count 0-1. The Vikings have won 3 of the last 4 meetings between the 2 teams. The Oilmen, in their last 8 games, are 6-0 against everyone else, and they're 0-2 against the Vikings. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Rossi. It's taken in tight for a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, to take that even further, that 1 win in the last 4 between these two, it took extra innings for them to come back and pull it off.
It was kind of a bizarre game where it could have gone either way, so there have been no easy wins of late against these Vikings. Here comes the 1-1. It's a slow bender inside for a ball, 2-1.
Vikings are definitely playing their best ball at this moment coming in this past week or so.
2 balls and a strike on Rossi. Here comes the pitch on the way from Otis. swinging a ground ball to short. This will be Fitzharris to charge in. His running throw to first is in time to retire Rossi for the second out of the second inning, and good so far so good for the new addition of the Vikings, Jack Otis.
Yeah, he's allowing the defense to work behind him, let the ball be put in play. He had that walk and hit by pitch in the first inning, but able to get a lot of ground outs in the early going.
It'll be Nick Doherty standing in next. Doherty to bat with 2 outs and the base is clear. Here's the first pitch on the way to him, swinging a one-hop smash to third. The third baseman knocks it down. His throw to first is in time to get him. A hot shot off the bat of Doherty. Nice job by Gergoni to knock this down, recover, and then throw to first, and Rhodes digs the throw on the other end. Oilmen go 1-2-3 in the second. We played 2. It's the Oilmen nothing, Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
BP's natural gas teams use Smart App technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Hello, Hoosier fans. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, the only show that covers the Hoosiers, the Big Ten, the Colts, the Pacers, and more. And now you can catch us each Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 on WJOB, the voice of the region. Daily guests like Don Fisher, Mike DeCourcy, Bob Kravitz, and Rick Bozich, the coaches, the players, and playmakers. You'll find them all on Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 on 1230 a.m. and 104.7 FM.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
Back at Oil City Stadium as we take it to inning number 3. Turek will toe the rubber once again and oppose the left-handed batting Hobbs Dunn in a scoreless game. Here's the first pitch from Turek. It's a bouncing ball to the right side. This is fielded by Mastros. The second baseman throws to first in time. 1 pitch and 1 away here in inning number 3.
We'll see if that's a theme that goes on or if it was just Hobbs Dunn taking the approach, but Joey Turek throwing a lot of strikes in the early going. See if the Vikings attack early in the count.
Yeah, it does make sense. When you have a guy who is putting it over the plate, you might as well go up there aggressive, right?
Yeah, see if he makes a mistake on an early pitch, because the last thing you want as a hitter is to immediately fall behind 0-1.
Here's the pitch to Fitzharris. It's taken for a strike, and the count, no balls and a strike on Fitzharris.
However, sometimes it's just a good pitch like that, some good movement, and probably the right call not to swing at that one, even though it was a strike.
That's right, you could more easily hit into an out rather than a hit. Here comes the 0-1. This is taken off the plate away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Jack Fitzharris with 1 out and the base is clear. Here comes the set and the 1-1 pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air, left side, I should say, and out of play. And the count is 1-2 on Fitzharris.
It helps being a right-handed pitcher, but he has a lot of natural movement from the right-handed batter's box, right-handed toward the left-handed batter's box, moving away from the right-handed hitters.
1-2 the count. 1 out and the base is clear here in the third. Turek comes back 1-2. Swing and a foul at the plate. He got a piece to stay alive. It remains 1-2. Again, the Vikings coming off a loss. They have played well of late. They are 6-2 in their last 8, but did lose to the Griffith Generals last night by a 9-7 score. Here's ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. A crazy game that here's the 2-2 grounded foul again. It remains 2-2. They lead for the Generals was 7-1 in the 5th, and then the Vikings rallied to tie the game at 7 before eventually falling in kind of a wacky game by a score of 9-7. We'll get your thoughts on it here in just a moment. 2-2 from Turek to the 9-man in the order, Jack Fitzharris, who's hitting .234 with the 2-2. This one bounces in there and we'll go full at 3-2.
Yeah, it was just a testament to the way the bats are going for the Vikings this year. It's a team that never feels like they're out of the game. Big grand slam in the 5th.
Here's a smash to left. That's a base hit. The second Viking hit of the day. Fitzharris singles cleanly to left, and Gorgoni will come up next.
And it's hits like that that really start off a rally for the Vikings. Just a lot of guys that are willing to just take their at-bats, take their walks, their hit-by-pitches, or a line drive single, not trying to do too much. And especially with the speed of the Vikings, able to swipe an extra bag afterwards. Yesterday, as I said, it was a big blow, a Lucas Pajau grand slam to draw within 1. They tied it the next inning.
Here's a line drive to short. Komiya makes the snag, and retreating back to first safely is Fitzharris. That's the second out here in the 3rd. Yeah, Sullivan Stickan telling you after the game that when we execute, we usually win. So the pitchers maybe didn't quite have their best stuff yesterday, but the Vikings did make it interesting, so you have to give them credit for that.
Yeah, like I said, this is a team that never feels like they're out of it, especially if you have multiple outs to work with. They feel like they can always come back in a game. They've put up crooked numbers in multiple innings.
Here's a pickoff throw to first, not in time. 1 ball and no strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. This is taken off the plate away, and the count is 2-0.
And the other big thing that leads to success for the Vikings is they're not afraid with 2 outs. They've scored a lot of runs with 2 outs.
2-0, swung on, lifted foul over our heads, and the count 2-1. That's a big stat.
Yeah, and that grand slam yesterday came with 2 outs as well.
2-out hitting is an important art, and coming up with those big hits that differentiates sometimes the winning teams from the losing teams. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Which teams can capitalize in those key moments?
Yeah, that clutch factor that you always hear talked about when referring to the Cubs and how it's been lacking in recent seasons.
2-2 with 2 outs. Here's the break even. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right and out of play. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Both teams just continue to battle in the at-bats.
Here's the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Turek strikes out Pajau, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left for the Vikings in that inning. After 2.5, the Oilmen and Vikings are scoreless on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake.
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strack & Van Til. Now you know.
Yes!
When it comes to Sunday, choose the right couch. Here's to the original light beer. It's Miller time.
Remember, everyone, tune in from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday for the Region Rush Hour with Tony Panic and Sam Michael.
Well, Sam Michael and Tony Panic.
Well, yeah, Tony Panic, you know, we'll talk about it. Tune in, everybody.
Centier Bank proudly supports the Northwest Indiana Oilmen this season. Since 1895, Centier has remained deeply rooted in Northwest Indiana and promises to remain not for sale for generations to come. Go to Centier.com for more information. Member FDIC. It's Centier Bank, a proud partner of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. We go to the bottom of inning number 3. No score between the Oilmen and the Vikings. The Vikings own the only 2 hits in the game. And Brennan Phillips, the 9-hitter in the order, will lead off the inning against Jack Otis. So far, so good for the Southland right-hander in his Viking debut. Comes the set from Otis, and soon he will fire the first pitch of the inning. Long set, and now his fire is swung on and lifted to the right side in foul territory. Making the catch is Rhodes, and that's the first out of the inning. Soft line drive, and the first baseman able to make the snag.
Yeah, Rhodes has good hands over at first base. He saved a lot of errors with his picks. That one was an easier try, soft liner in foul ground. The umpire appreciates it, caught it right in front of him.
Always good to keep Mike Clay safe. Assures that we have umpires assigned to each game when he's safe and sound. This is taken high for a ball to count 1 ball and no strikes. The Oilmen coming off a 2-1 win over the Corn Dogs last night. And they are scoreless here against the Vikings this evening. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The Oilmen were out-hit 11-4. I think that's another sign of a good team. It's just finding ways to win, maybe games you should lose.
Yeah, the Vikings had a similar trend earlier this season. They had a 4-game winning streak, 3 of which they were out-hit. But just finding ways, even when something's not working, to your point, finding different ways to win ball games.
1-1 to Denty is low in the count, 2 balls and a strike. Tyler Locks through 7 innings. He scattered 7 hits but yielded just 1 run. He walked just 1 and struck out 4 while receiving no decision in a game the Oilmen eventually won thanks to a late rally. Here's the 2-1. This is swung on and smashed to left on a line, a scorched line drive that's caught by Gentile in left for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, and those, Gentile did a nice job, made it look kind of easy, but it's never easy having to make a play like that, trying to come in on a ball that's basically eye level coming straight at you.
2 outs and the base is clear, but again, the Oilmen were able to rally for that big win. They trailed 1-0 as late as the bottom of the 8th inning, but took the lead and won it 2-1. Their second straight thrilling win this week. Here's a ground ball base hit left side. It's a single for Mastros, the first Oilman hit of the game, as it's out of a reach of it. The diving Gorgoni and the Oilmen are in the hit column here with 2 down in the 3rd.
Soft liner to open up the inning, but a couple of hard hit balls, the last 2, the line out to left, and then that one through under the glove of Gorgoni.
Now it's Baker, 2 outs and a scoreless game. See if Chris can keep the line moving here in this 3rd. He takes a healthy hack and comes up empty, the count 0-1. Jack Nekraz pitched well in relief again last night. Had a Menwright with positive words for him after the game. 0-1 on Baker. Otis comes set and delivers. This is fouled off to our left, and it goes to 0-2. And then Adam Enright also saying the name of the game at this point in the summer is getting into bullpens. So some of the long at-bats that the Oilmen had last night didn't necessarily turn into base runners or hits, but it elevated pitch counts and helped them eventually get into that pen of the Corn Dogs, and that's where they won the game against the bullpen. Runner goes, pitch swung on and grounded to second. This is misplayed by the second baseman Harris. The throw to first is still in time. He recovers and gets the out after knocking down the bouncing ball to second, and the inning comes to an end. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left for the Oilmen in the 3rd. 3 innings in the books. It's the Oilmen nothing and the Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now you do.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Rust premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted and bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Oilman Baseball tonight is brought to you by our friends at Ivy Tech. All their programs are designed to lead you toward a great career. That's just one reason 92% of their alumni would choose Ivy Tech again. Find the program meant for advancing you toward your career quickly and affordably. It's Ivy Tech, a proud partner of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Scoreless game as we take it to the 4th inning. Oilmen eking out a 2-out hit in that 3rd for their first hit of the day, but left-stranded was Mastros, and here's the first pitch of this inning, swung on and popped up. The shortstop Comia is under it, and he makes the catch to retire Merck for the first out of the 4th inning.
Another early hack from the Vikings, but seems like every time that they do attack early, Turek has found a way to jam them. A couple of pop-ups on the infield.
Turek under 50 pitches for the day, despite 4 strikeouts. Here comes the first pitch to Harris. It's looked at for a strike, and the count 0-1. Again, that incredible ratio of 23 strikeouts against 2 walks for the season for Turek. 0-1 is outside for a ball, 1-1.
Jamar Harris added to that strikeout total. He was caught looking to end the first.
1-1 to him is swung on and lifted to right over his Doherty in right center. The right-handed right fielder makes the catch, and that's the second out of the 4th inning.
And it goes both ways. We talked about maybe you can get a pitch to hit attacking early, a guy throwing strikes, but at the same time, if you do fly out or you pop it up early, you mentioned the pitch count of Turek is still relatively low. He's been efficient, and that could keep him in the game longer.
Bryce Nevels with 2 outs and the bases clear. Here comes the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss. And the count is no balls and a strike.
A lot of swings and misses today from Nevels against Turek. He does have a home run against Turek, though, this season. That was in Nevels' second game as a Viking.
And here is the 0-1. This is taken outside for a ball, 1-1. And not too many people have had good success against Joey Turek, but he is one of them. Here's the 1-1. This is taken for ball 2, 2-1.
Both teams just trying to get hits at this point, get some base runners. Pitching duel.
Swung on and lifted in the air, right side. O'Connor over. The first baseman near the dugout cannot get there as this hits off the top of the first base Oilman dugout, and it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Phillips and O'Connor gave it a good look, went as far over as they could. Ran out of room.
Oilmen always occupy the first base dugout here at Oil City. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. This is swung on and grounded foul left side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Lights have already taken full effect on this Thursday night. A thirsty Thursday at Oil City. We always encourage you to come on out to the ballpark on a Thursday night. The 2-2 swing and a foul at the plate. That is many fans' favorite night of the week. The Thirsty Thursdays here at Oil City. Discounted beverages available at the stadium concession stand.
Always a fun time to come out, especially under the lights. Cheap drinks. And baseball. Good baseball.
Good one going tonight between these two teams. Scoreless in the 4th. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a foul. He made it one after one, but he fouled it in the count 2-2. So this is the 112th all-time meeting between these two teams, with the Oilmen a 58-53 advantage over the Vikings. 2-2 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Nevels. Swinging a ground ball to the right side, and this is going to be no play. This is backhanded by O'Connor. This is a base hit as Nevels reaches first safely. A Vikings get a 2-out hit here in this fourth. O'Connor came off the first base bag, tried to backhand it, but when he came off the bag, the Oilmen were going to have no chance to get the out at first by the time Turek got over there to cover. So it goes as a base hit for Nevels with 2 down here in this fourth. A little bouncing ball to the right side that turns into the third hit against Turek, and now Rhodes will swing and foul it in the count 0-1.
Yeah, I'm a little blocked by a column here, but it looked like that took a weird hop, like it was going toward the first base side and then took a hop over to the left to create that backhand attempt.
No balls and a strike on Rhodes. Here's the pitch on the way. This is swung on and lifted to the left, back on it, and reaching up and able to make the catch on the warning track is Stressler in left. A big-time catch for Brendan Stressler ends the Viking half of the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for Southland in that inning. After 3.5, it's a scoreless tie on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make a smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
The Jed TV Sports Network is now the exclusive home to 8 schools. Subscribe today for a full year of sports coverage by using code JEDTV50 at checkout. Visit jedtv.com for more information.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now you do.
Hold up, now do what you do. Get loud, go ahead, get loose. Get down to business, tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Did you know that ordering groceries has never been easier? New online shopping at Strachan Van Til saves you time and money. In-store sale prices, pickup and delivery options, online coupons, reward points, and more. Sign up at shop.strachanvantil.com today. It's Strachan Van Til, a proud partner of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. Zach Carr, our producer, does a little shopping sometimes on his phone with the mobile app during the game and takes care of his grocery orders. Thanks to our good friends at Strack and Van Til Market. Jaden Comia will lead off the fourth in a scoreless game. Good pitchers duel going. Here's the first pitch from Otis. This is swung on and popped up. Second baseman Harris is out, and he makes the catch on the edge of the outfield grass, meeting the infield dirt, and that's the first out of the fourth inning.
Yeah, just another jam shot. Otis and Turek both just attacking hitters all game long. Getting weak contact for the most part today.
1 out in the fourth, and here's Brendan O'Connor. Vikings out hitting the Oilmen 3-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air. Right side, shallow right foul territory. Rhodes cannot make the catch. The first baseman drops this one, and that will be strike 1 on O'Connor. But he was under it and couldn't make the play.
Yeah, usually very sure-handed over there. Just couldn't. He looked like he actually overran it a little bit. The wind may have been blowing it back just a touch.
No balls and a strike. The count on O'Connor.
Not a strong wind, a slight breeze. Going from right to left, it appears.
Here's the 0-1. This is taken high for a ball, 1-1.
If you're the Oilmen, though, you haven't had much success so far against Otis. This is your chance to capitalize.
And a new life for O'Connor. Here comes the 1-1. This is swung on and grounded foul left side, and it's 1-2.
If you're Caleb Rhodes, you want more than anyone else on the field right now for O'Connor to be retired.
1 ball and 2 strikes on O'Connor. Otis ready to come back, 1-2, the long look, and here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder foul, it remains 1-2. Again, the Vikings come in with a record of 13-12, 3 games ahead of the Panthers and Miracle entering play today for the 3rd spot in the Northern League. Oilmen are 15-7, nipping at the heels of the Corn Dogs. Here's the 1-2. This is high for a ball, 2-2. The Corn Dogs have already lost. They have lost their game to the Panthers here tonight.
Prime for the taking right as we approach the end of the first full month, I should say. We did start in May.
Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Out on strikes is O'Connor. 2 outs and the base is clear, and that'll bring up Stressler. Stressler will step in. He flew to left his first time, a .333 batting average for Stressler on the season. He bats with 2 outs and the base is empty. Scoreless tie here in the 4th. Great job by the newest addition to the Vikings, Jack Otis, so far today. Pitch is swung on and grounded to the left side. This is fielded by Fitzharris. His throw to first is going to be in time, and the inning ends. A lot of quick outs on both sides so far here today. And first pitch swinging, Stressler grounds to short, and he's out 6-3. The Oilmen go 1-2-3 in the 4th. It'll be Januska and Zach when we come back. It's the Oilmen nothing and Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Hello, Hoosier fans. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, the only show that covers the Hoosiers, the Big Ten, the Colts, the Pacers, and more. And now you can catch us each Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 on WJOB, the voice of the region. Daily guests like Don Fisher, Mike DeCourcy, Bob Kravitz, and Rick Bozich. The coaches, the players, and playmakers. You'll find them all on Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 on 12:30 a.m. and 104.7 FM.
Meet football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
It's common for back patients to have a lot of questions, but at Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we ask a lot of questions too. We want to know about their jobs, their hobbies, their lifestyle. Because spinal conditions are oftentimes complex and multifaceted, the best solutions take into account work and lifestyle. The spine is at the basis of everything that we do and who we are. For us, surgery is not the first priority. Finding the least invasive option to give you your life back is.
Brandon Januska along with Zach Carr on for Brandon Vickery as we move to the 5th inning. Scoreless between the Vikings and the Oilmen. Bottom of the order, 7-8-9 due up for the Vikings as the first pitch outside from Turek to Mike Gentile, who grounded out to short his first time up. Good pitcher's duel going on so far. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
It really is. And for the Vikings this inning, I want them to try to control the pace. We've seen Turek go after 3 seconds just like this.
It's the edge. It's 1-2.
But basically, I've only seen Nevels, I believe, last inning call a timeout in the batter's box.
Pitch outside, now 2-2. Yeah, and that's a good way to try to control the tempo yourself as a hitter. Call time and make the pitcher wait. A swing and a miss. Grabbed in the dirt by Phillips. He applies the tag, and that's out number 1. Turek so far is just having his way for the most part with these Vikings hitters.
Yeah, he's looked great, and it's because he's got that rhythm. So I'm looking for at least 1 or 2 batters' timeouts just to get Turek to relax just a little bit.
Hobbs done, as he did in his first at-bat. Swings at the first pitch. He fouls it off this time. Last time up, grounded out to second. 1 away, no score in the top of the 5th. Turek's pitch is fouled off to the left and is quickly 0-2.
And the Vikings have the advantage on the hit column, but I believe the Vikings haven't even gotten anyone in scoring position yet. They've been stranded at first so far this game.
That is correct, and all 3 of their hits have also come at, that's not true, 2 of their 3 hits have come with 2 outs in the inning. The one in the 3rd inning came with 1 away as that pitch is inside. 1-2 on Hobbs done.
Yeah, that's why it's so key to try to get your leadoff man or the first two to get on early and try to get some momentum.
Pitch taken just outside, now 2-2. Yeah, I mentioned that the Vikings have had success with 2 outs, but you'd like to get some movement before it comes to that point.
Exactly.
The 2-2 from Turek. Taken downstairs, it's a full count.
I will give the Vikings a lot of credit. Turk's been able to get ahead in the count a lot, but they've been able to battle back.
Smash on the ground, fielded at first. O'Connor, he'll underhand toss it to Turek, and Hobbs Dunn is retired. Good at bat from Dunn, but in the end, Turek wins another one.
Yeah, Turek keeps winning, and he does his job as well. A little banana peel to cover first. It's always tough for a pitcher to react that quickly after throwing a pitch, obviously, and shows a little bit of athleticism out of him.
He'll bring up Jack Fitzharris with 2 away. He has one of those 3 Vikings hits. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes upstairs for ball 1. Fitzharris singled with 1 away in the 3rd inning. 2 down, bases empty, no score. Vikings and Oilmen as that's popped up high in the air. On the infield, the second baseman Mastros comes in and makes the grab, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. In the top of the 5th, we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. No score, Vikings and Oilmen, on your Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
This place teaches you to be genuine, to be the same person today as you were yesterday. People from Indiana, they're pretty comfortable with who they are. And you know, I think that puts the people around them at ease to be comfortable with who they are.
The values that built Indiana are here in Strachan Van Til. We're Indiana's grocery store, and we're proud to be Indiana made.
The JED TV Sports Network is now the exclusive home to 8 schools. Subscribe today for a full year of sports coverage by using code JEDTV50 at checkout. Visit JEDTV.com for more information.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of every.
We move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brandon Januska and Zach Carr scoreless from Oil City Stadium between the Vikings and the Oilmen. And after the Vikings win 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th, each pitcher has now set down the opposing side in order twice so far today.
Yeah, I love watching pitchers duel. I was a pitcher back in the days and wasn't used to the 1-2-3s myself, but it's a lot of fun to watch when there's a master class going on the mound.
Otis will first take on Ethan Rossi, who swings at the first pitch. Grounder to third. Gergoni has it. He'll fire across the diamond, and a quick 1 pitch, 1 out, 1 away.
Yeah, nothing new going on in this game besides everyone trying to attack early. And honestly, if I was the Oilmen at this point against Otto, I would maybe take a couple. Well, he's not used to going deep. He's been usually a closer and a starter, so this is where it could get a little rocky for him.
1 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. Brings up Nick Doherty, who looks at a pitch downstairs for ball 1. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to ask him how often or how stretched out he is at this point after closing with JJC. Now in his 5th inning of work. 1-0 is a strike, 1-1. Still looks sharp out there for now.
Yeah, definitely. That would be an interesting question for Otis to see what's his longest outing at JJC, but obviously nothing's slowing him down here.
1-1, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. No scores, and as you mentioned in the top half of the inning, the Vikings without a runner in scoring position today. The Oilmen in that factor have had the best chance. Mastros was at third base. They had second and third with 2 away back in the first. As this one is a swing and a miss. The throw down to first to complete the out, and 2 away.
Yeah, that's a tough drop third strike there, especially getting away. That's when you have to call out inside or outside as a catcher in order to find the best throwing lane to still get him out at first.
And Merck was able to do so. There's now 2 away in the bottom of the 5th inning. No score. Vikings out hitting the Oilmen 3-1. And the pitch inside to Brennan Phillips. He lined out to first his first time. Otis a look into Merck. Now delivers the 1-0 pitch. That's lined to second, and gloving it just above the dirt is Shamar Harris. So it's another 1-2-3 inning as we move to the 6th. No score, Vikings and Oilmen on your Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Rise and shine.
All right. WJOB's Jim Deedlow starts your weekdays at 6 a.m. Jed in the region. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. WJOB, AM 1230 and 104.7 FM.
When you hire certified electrician contractors, you're getting the best. But just as important as our skill and expertise is our culture of safety. We know it's important to you, and we know it's important to them. Certified Electrician represents the NECA IBEW team, a team where safety and productivity go hand in hand. It's why our jobs finish on time and on budget. It's why owners that use us are repeat customers. Certified Electrician, working together, powering Northwest Indiana.
Back at Oil City Stadium with Brandon Januska. Brandon Vickery back with you as we take it to inning number 6. No score between the Oilmen and the Vikings. Zach Carr is our excellent producer, and we have John Janiga working our camera and doing a great job with that as always. And we take it to the 6th inning as a scoreless game. Before we do that, we use this time to remind you that Oilman Baseball tonight is brought to you by our friends at Hard Rock Casino. Discover your rhythm at Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana, just off exit 6, I-8094. It's Hard Rock Casino, proud partner of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. And Jackson Baker, of course, is with us as well as we take it to the 6th inning. Joey Turek still working for the Oilmen, and he's still working on a shutout. It's dueling shutouts for these two righties so far here today, and the first pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Next offering is swung on and cracked to center. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's a single to center off the bat of Gorgoni, and that begins the 6th inning.
Joey Turek now at 74 pitches on the day as we're in the top of the 6th. And sometimes it's not even that hard of a hit ball. You just have to put together hits. A soft single into center field to lead things off. And first time the Vikings have had a runner on with nobody out.
It's always big to get that leadoff man on. Can Turek work around it? Pajot standing in. First pitch to him. Swinging a bouncing ball to the left side. Tough play, no play. A base hit, left field. Comia could not get there. Back-to-back singles begin this inning for the Vikings. They have something brewing in this 6th. 2 on with nobody out.
Even if Comia is able to backhand that ball, he's running toward third. He wouldn't have had any chance at Gorgoni going to second. It would have been tough. Pajot runs well. It might have been a single either way.
Very difficult chance. And instead, runners at first and second with nobody out, and Matt Merck will step up to the plate next. The Vikings now out hitting the Oilmen by a 5-1 count here in inning number 6.
Mentioned earlier in the game, Matt Merck, the team leader in runs driven in. He's driven in 14 on the season.
And he bats in an RBI spot right here against the Oilmen, who are 12-2 at Oil City, with the only losses coming to these Vikings. Here's a called strike and the count 0-1. Oilmen are on a 3-game winning streak. They've won 6 of their last 7 ball games. But the kryptonite of the Oilmen has been the Southland Vikings. Merck shows bunt, and he pulls back and takes the ball. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike, and the Vikings have played small ball quite a bit all season.
Yeah, they have. I don't really like taking the bat out of Matt Merck's hands as he's been a hot hitter, but if you can maybe bunt for a hit even, he runs fairly well for a catcher.
He bunts at it and fouls it, and now shaken up here is the Oilman catcher, Brennan Phillips, as this one nailed him. And he'll need a minute here as the home plate umpire, Paul Wojcicki, will go out to have a word with Turek to buy some time for the catcher Phillips, who's shaken up.
Yeah, sometimes, especially when you see the guy square around for a bunt, as a catcher, you're trying to get ready to pounce on that ball, and you open yourself up, you expose yourself to get caught somewhere where there's no padding.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes will be the count. Merck will stand in just a moment. So now interesting, 2 strikes likely swinging away here is Merck. And now out to have a word with Turek is Phillips.
Yeah, I would imagine there's no chance that he squares around to bunt here. Again, one of the hotter hitters on the team. Denty at no point was ever playing in on the grass over at third base.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Briefly, Phillips went out to chat with Turek, but Mike Clay waving it off and saying that does not count as a mound visit, as he was just buying time for himself to recover after being hit a moment ago. Now we're ready to go again with the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the set from Turek in the 1-2. This is swung on and lifted in the air to shallow left, and this is going to land foul in play but untouched, and the count remains 1-2.
Bit out in front was Merck on that one, but he's lucky that they were playing off the line all the way down the left side, the Oilmen were, so a long run for everyone to try to get over there, and nobody able to.
1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. Scoreless game here in the 6th. Turek trying to find a way to put yet another 0 on the board. But the Vikings have mounted their biggest threat of the day. This is a huge moment right here with 2 strikes on Merck. Turek would love a strikeout. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right, and it remains 1-2.
Merck so far today is 1 for 2. He singled back in the first. Popped out early in the count, or rather on a full count in the 4th inning. Popped out to short.
1-2 on the right-handed batter. Righty against righty. The look at second from Turek, and here's the 1-2 pitch again. The swung on and lifted in the air to left. Over is Stressler. He's still going over toward the foul line in foul territory. Stressler makes the catch, crashing up against the sidewall, and the runners have to retreat back to first and second as he guns it back in. Merck is retired for the first out of the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Harris.
That's a nice job by Stressler. After the last one he wasn't able to get to, he had a long way to run once again, just before colliding with that sidewall in foul ground. And then to be able to then come back and get the throw back in to keep Gergoni at second is huge.
Runners will be at first and second, or remain at first and second, but now 1 away for Shamar Harris, who's 0 for 2. Here's the first pitch from Turek. This is inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Turek at 82 pitches for the day here in the 6th.
Shamar Harris right behind Merck in that RBI category. He's driven in 13.
1-0, swing and a miss, and the count 1-1. So another good guy to have at the plate if you're the Southland Vikings in this spot. Red Sox for Harris with the pants hiked up near the knees. Here's the 1-1. This is poked foul, right side out of play, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Vikings with that heart of the order up right now. Harris hitting out of the cleanup role.
1-2 on him. Lead at second for Gergoni. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a tapper foul at the plate. We'll do it again. 1-2.
Gergoni runs well, but I doubt he'd attempt to steal third in this situation. Scoreless game. The last thing you want to do is run yourself into an out.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Harris. 1 out in the inning. Continuing to keep a close eye on him is Turek. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a slow roller to the left side. Going to be a tough play. And now the throw to first, not running, and this is going to be in time. Harris thought it was foul. If he would have been running, he would have reached first easily, and he's out at first base, 5-3. And now Sullivan Stickan's going to come over to want to have a word with Paul Wojcicki before Neville stepped in. What did you see there?
It looked like it was fair to me. He must be saying it hit off his foot or something, and I think they're going to appeal. The umpires will have a discussion about it, but that's a ball you have to run out. But again, if it hits you off the foot, you just assume it's a dead ball.
So that's a big out for the Oilmen, if indeed it stands, and it will. The umpires talk it over, and out is the call. It remains the call. And so now runners at second and third for the Vikings as the runners each move up. But Harris, who easily would have reached first safely on this slow dribbler to the left side, is out at first for the second out of the inning. Now it's Bryce Nevels with runners at second and third, 2 outs, scoreless game in the 6th. The biggest moment of the game so far has arrived. First pitch from Turek is strike one called, 0-1.
You said it exactly right. This is a huge moment in the game so far. Each of these two have won one of the battles. Neville struck out his first time, singled last time up.
One strike pitch, swing and a foul, and now it's 0-2. 2 outs and 2 strikes. Scoreless game in the top of inning number 6.
The last thing you want to do as the Vikings, I mentioned running into an out. That was a lack of running into an out, especially when a pitcher's dealing on the other side.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Out on strikes is Nevels. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left for the Vikings in the 6th. After 5.5, it remains Oilmen nothing, Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
First time in 30 years, Coors Light has an ad in the big game.
Actually, this is a Miller Lite commercial.
Mountain Cold Refreshment. It's Miller time. Great taste. Less filling. Cold as the Rockies. Coors commercial. Miller commercial.
Actually, it's a Blue Moon commercial.
I am a success. I am the future.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am. I am.
I am Ivy Tech Community College. Are you?
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Make a smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
It's common for back patients to have a lot of questions, but at Midwest Orthopedic Specialty Hospital, we ask a lot of questions too. We want to know about their jobs, their hobbies, their lifestyle. Because spinal conditions are oftentimes complex and multifaceted, the best solutions take into account work and lifestyle. The spine is at the basis of everything that we do and who we are. For us, surgery is not the first priority. Finding the least invasive option to give you your life back is.
Back at Oil City Stadium where there's a new pitcher on the mound, and it's a right-hander. Georgie Vasquez is on to work for the Southland Vikings. You can close the book on Jack Otis. His day is done. After 5 glittering innings of one-hit ball, he did not allow a run. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Otis was rolling along, and his pitch count was just 55 pitches, but he will receive no decision, Januska, as Georgie Vasquez has entered the game, and Vasquez is on to work for the
Vasquez has done a fine job for the Vikings as well. 14 innings, 3 runs all earned. His first start of the year was against the Generals. 5 no-hit innings. 3 runs out in his second.
Swings the first, grabs it slow. Second. For 1 away for Vasquez here in this 6th inning.
Yeah, so if you're the Oilmen, you're excited to see someone new on the mound. It's no longer Otis, but again, Vasquez has had a lot of season.
hit 5-1, and it's a scoreless game. Is taken high for a ball. 1 ball and no strike. Makes sense. From Vasquez, I should say, to better. Here comes the lifted foul out of play. The Miracle have a Vasquez, I believe, and is really good with Vasquez.
Endable.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Scoreless game in inning number 6. Here comes the 1-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air, foul off to the right and out of play, and it's 1-2.
But if you're the Vikings, if you want someone to come in and follow up that performance from Otis, Vasquez is definitely a fine candidate to do so.
1-2 the count on Mastros. Here's the pitch on the way, swinging a bouncing ball foul. Janusko remains 1-2. Again, the Dogs have lost their game. An opportunity for the Oilmen to take over first place. But more likely than not, I think he'll go to the pen. Swing and a miss. The runner was bluffing, and the throw to second is on line, but there was no one running. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. So, bluffing it from first was Mastros. Thinking that he was going was Merck, and he threw down to second. But fortunately for the Vikings, it was a good throw. It was only negative could have came there. There was nobody to try to get out, and had it gotten into center field, perhaps Mastros could have moved up 90 feet. But I did see him bluff at first, and that caused Merck to throw down.
Yeah, Merck has thrown out 6 base runners, or would-be base stealers so far this season. Strong arm behind the plate.
2-strike pitch to Baker, swing and a miss for strike 3. Baker is out on strikes, and that's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Comia. Comia coming up to the plate next. Baker struggling a little bit. He's 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch earlier, but he's retired for the second time today, and now Comia stands in with a runner on first and 2 down. He's 0 for 2 as well. Here's the first pitch. It's taken high for ball 1.
Close on that first offering, and that's the biggest thing with Georgie Vasquez is, like Turek, he does not walk many hitters.
And here's a wild pickoff throw to first, trying to advance to second as Mastros, and he will on an error, and he's going to take a big turnaround second and hold there. It's the first error of the game. It's E1 here on the pitcher Vasquez, and that allows Mastros to get into scoring position. It's a big play.
So just as I mentioned, he has good control, doesn't walk many, but he's errant on the pickoff attempt.
Oilmen were the beneficiary of something somewhat similar to take the lead on the Corn Dogs in the 8th inning last night. The runner from first took off too soon towards second. They would have had him out at second base, but it was a wild throw into center field and a run scored from third. Here comes the 1-0. This is swung on and fouled at the plate, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, again, if you're the Oilmen, this is a big spot. Try to take advantage, capitalize on the error from the Vikings. If you're Georgie Vasquez and the Vikings, you just have to look at it as, hey, there's 2 outs in the inning. If I get the hitter, I'm out of it.
1-1, the count on Comia. Here's the pitch on the way. It's strike 2 call. Big spot. Running on contact from second will be Mastros with 2 outs. A base hit for the outfield would likely score the game's first run.
This is a huge inning for Vasquez, especially after a little bit of a momentum shift in the Oilmen favor after getting out of the previous inning.
One hopper to short. He goes to third for some reason. They have the man in a rundown between second and third. Now they're running him toward third. Here's the throw there. He's headed back towards second. And now the pickle keeps on going. And he finally is tagged out. This goes as a fielder's choice. And we'll let Januska sort out the exact scoring for you on that play. No runs, one hit, and one left on base for the Oilmen in the sixth. After six, 0-0, Oilmen and Vikings on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
That beach is just too hot. I mean, God, look at it. It's making the sand burn, the mouth dry, the skin cry. I mean, everything's just... Oh, there's Coors Light. Well, mouth desert, meet ice cold beer. Mountain cold refreshment. That's chill.
BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks. Because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Have a student headed to college this fall? If so, you probably have questions, and the best place to find answers is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech is in your community and offers hundreds of options. Best of all, our tuition is a fraction of the cost of other colleges. Complete a free application today.
Back for the seventh inning, no score, as the Oilmen will send Joey Turek back out for another inning of work, and Mike Clay will need to be waited upon to take his position out in the first base umpiring position, as the umpires were not quite ready, but now they're ready, and we will have the seventh inning get underway with Turek still pitching for the Oilmen here, as he's at 90 pitches for the day. His first pitch is swung on and fouled off to the left, and the count is 0-1. He likely will come out mid-inning unless he can work a very efficient seventh inning here. No balls and a strike. The count on Rhodes. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. It's 0-2.
We do have the official scoring on that previous play. I looked it up for you guys, and congratulations to Zach. He had it right on. 6-5-4-1-6.
Swing and a miss. Strike three here. Out on strikes is Rhodes on 3 pitches, and that's the first out of the seventh inning. Impressive strikeout by Turek, and even more impressive for you guys sorting out the scoring on that bizarre play that would have normally just been a routine out at first base with 2 outs in the inning. They choose to go to third there, and then it turns into a long rundown that easily could have turned into disaster for the Vikings with one poor throw. This is taken low and in for a ball, but they end up getting the out, and the inning did come to an end.
Yeah, it's one of those things. The longer you can keep a rundown going, the more throws you have to make, the more likely you are as a runner to be safe.
This is fouled right side. 1-1 on Mike Gentile against Joey Turek. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 away. This is outside for a ball, and the count 2-1. Turek now at 96 pitches for the day. 2-1 on Gentile. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. It's 97. We know Oilmen are normally capped at 100 pitches, or finishing the batter thereafter. Here comes the 2-2. This is taken off the plate away. He thought he had strike 3. Instead, we go full at 3-2.
Turek has had 2 1-2-3 innings so far today.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. Just able to stay alive was Gentile.
If he's able to get a 1-2-3 inning here, he might be able to finish. If not, I would imagine if anyone reaches, it could be the end of his day.
3-2 on Gentile. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Out on strikes is Gentile. Another strikeout for Joey Turek. And Hobbs Dunn will stand up there with 2 outs and the bases clear. Let's see if Turek can work a 1-2-3.
Turek now up to 8 strikeouts in the game.
Here's the first pitch to Dunn. This is outside for a ball. He's at 100 pitches even. This will likely be his last hitter. And boy, would it be nice to see him get the out and get through 7 complete. The 1-0. This is outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. We don't see Turek fall behind 2-0 very often, but that's the case here. If he can get through he can get this out, get through this inning, maybe the Oilmen can make him a winner if they can score in the bottom of this frame. The 2-0 taken for a strike, and it's 2-1.
And that might have even been part of the thinking into why he stays out there. You don't want to waste a gem like this.
2-1 is swung on and popped up to shallow left, coming in and not able to get there. This is going to be a base hit, and now headed towards second, and the throw to second's not in time. It's a double. A 2-base hit for Hobbs Dunn, and Jack Fitzharris will step up to the plate next with 2 outs and a man at second.
And just an unfortunate outcome if you're Turek. A softly hit bloop double down the left field line. Just landed in no man's land between a trio of Oilmen defenders.
So it'll be the 6th hit for the Vikings. And 2 outs and a man at second base now as Fitzharris stands in next. Here's the first pitch to him. It's taken for a strike and the count 0-1. Scoreless game, 7th inning. Now the big key is keeping a 0 on the board in the run column for the Vikes. The 1-0-1 bunted at right out in front of home plate. Picked up by Phillips. His throw to first is going to be in time, and the inning ends. And Joey Turek works 7 scoreless innings. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left for the Vikings in that inning. It's time to stretch at the OC. Oilmen nothing, Vikings nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Hold up, now do what you do. Get loud, go ahead, get loose. Get down to business, tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
The Jed TV Sports Network is now the exclusive home to 8 schools. Subscribe today for a full year of sports coverage by using code JEDTV50 at checkout. Visit JEDTV.com for more information.
Don't let pain knock you out of the ring. Our hand, wrist, and elbow experts are pioneers worldwide. You need us in your corner. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today. After our minimally invasive spine surgery, 80% of golfers maintained or improved their handicap. Be treated by the pros to play more like a pro. Midwest Orthopedics at Rush. Make an appointment today.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where we remind you that Military Appreciation Night is coming up this Saturday, and it's sponsored by our friends at Hard Rock Casino, Northern Indiana. The Oilmen partnering with Indiana Fallen Heroes this Saturday, July the 1st, game time 7:10, to recognize those who have served our country on Saturday night. We hope to see you there. This first pitch of this inning is swung on and popped up into right field. Right there is the right-handed right fielder Nevels to make the catch and retire Brendan O'Connor for the first out of the 7th inning. Vasquez still working for the Vikings in a scoreless game in the 7th. It's his 2nd inning of work. And now Stressler with 1 out and the base is clear.
Yeah, I mentioned Vasquez. His previous 3 appearances on the mound, he has been the starter. So in a perfect world, he would go the distance the rest of the way, save the rest of the arms for the Vikings.
No balls and a strike on Stressler, who's 0 for 2. Here's the 0-1, swinging a foul at the plate, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Again, tickets available, NWIOilmen.com for Military Appreciation Night on Saturday. That will conclude this homestand. We'll also be here tomorrow night to take on the Panthers, and Saturday's game is against the Corn Dogs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stressler is out on strikes for the second out of the 7th inning.
Vasquez, not a guy who racks up a ton of strikeouts. 14 innings this year. He's struck out 7, but definitely capable when he's on his game. He's a contact pitcher, gets a lot of ground balls.
2 outs and the base is clear as Rossi stands in. Here's the first pitch to Vasquez. It's taken for a strike from Vasquez, and the count 0-1 on Rossi. Scoreless game in the 7th. Oil refinery illuminated in the background here. Here comes the 0-1. Take it inside for a ball. It never gets old. The beautiful vantage point when night falls here at unique Oil City Stadium in Whiting. And we've got a good ball game going as well. The 1-1, swinging a foul off the body of Rossi, and it's 1-2.
And it's always funny how that tends to happen. Not so much for the Oilmen today as they're coming off a 2-1 win, but the Vikings, the Bats stole the show in yesterday's game, storming back to erase a 7-1 deficit, and now quiet so far today.
1-2, the count on Rossi. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air down the right field line, foul, and it remains 1-2. Over toward the Oilman bullpen.
Not a lot of hard contact on the day from either side. Even the hits are more often than not softly hit balls. We saw the bloop double just last inning from the Vikings.
Rossi batting with 2 outs and the base is clear. Great work by both pitching staffs here today. Here comes the 1-2. Swinging a grounder foul left side. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And it's always stressful if you're a pitcher coming into a situation like this. You see the other guy throw a gem, you see what's going on the other side, and you know that really one mistake could cost you a ball game.
Here's the 1-2, low for a ball on the count 2-2. That's right. It makes the efforts from both sides all the more impressive because you don't have a lot of comfort on the mound in a scoreless game.
Yeah, exactly. The pressure is on every single pitch. You know that one swing of the bat could be the difference in the game.
2-2 with 2 outs. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Low for a ball, and we go full at 3-2. Big payoff pitch coming up as the Oilmen try to work a 2-out base runner. Oilmen have not had too many of those in this entire game. Base runners of any variety. Here comes the payoff pitch. It's low for ball 4. There is a 2-out walk as Rossi reaches, and now Nick Doherty will come up to the plate next. Scoreless game in the 7th. Good to have you along on the Oilman Broadcasting Network. Happy you've chosen to make us part of your Thursday night. It's the Thirsty Thursday at the ballpark. The weekend homestand continues through Saturday. Again, Military Appreciation Night coming up. This is swung on and cracked foul left side into the Viking bullpen. The count 0-1 on Nick Doherty.
One of the hardest hit balls of the ball game today was just right there. Well out in front.
0-1. And now time called. Backing off is Vasquez. Yeah, it was a pretty well hit ball off the bat of Doherty. See if he can. There's a pickoff throw to first, not in time. Straighten it out here on this 0-1.
Long look into Merck.
It's really slowed down his pace here, and another pickoff throw. Leaning the other way was Rossi, but he'll get back to the bag safely. Scoreless game in the 7th. We have a cliffhanger between the Oilmen and the Southland Vikings. No balls and a strike on Doherty. Vikings out hitting the Oilmen 6-2. Here's yet another pickoff throw. And looking forward to the next couple nights. More baseball here at Oil City. I'll have them for you tomorrow with Nick Kane and with Noel Ferry on Saturday. Here's the 0-1. This is inside for a ball, 1-1.
And with 2 outs, I'd prefer that Vasquez not focus on as much on Rossi over at first. Of course, you don't want him to get in scoring position, but you don't want to lose focus of the batter, especially with 2 outs.
Sure. If you take care of business on the batter, runner won't make a difference. This is swung on, lifted in the air, foul, and no play for Merck. Cannot make the catch. He did not see it right away. He thought it was going out of play. Had he seen this ball, this inning would be over, but he then had to slide for it and could not make the catch. Vasquez saw it and was kind of racing in toward it himself, but it turns into new life for the Oilmen.
Yeah, it did kick off the glove of Merck, who tracked it at the very, very end of that play. Off the bat, I thought Zach was going to have the best play at that ball.
It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Doherty with a runner at first, Rossi. No score in the 7th at the OC. Vikings trying to continue to be a thorn in the side of the Oilmen. So here's a swing and a grounder foul. The Oilmen trying to climb into first place for the first time this entire season. The Miracle have beaten the Generals by a score of 9-4. So the Vikings trying to stay 3 ahead of the Miracle. The 1-2 swinging a tapper foul, and the Panthers as both teams won tonight. And if the Vikings should falter, that lead for the 3 spot would shrink to 2 games, and it's over 2 different teams, meaning they're only 2 games clear of being outside the playoff picture. If, that is, the Oilmen were to win this game tonight. Scoreless game in the 7th. The 1-2 swing and a miss, and the inning ends. As thinking he got a piece of it was the batter, Doherty, but the pitch is ruled a swing and a miss. We'll wait just a moment before we toss it to break to be sure, as they'll double check with Mike Clay. And Mike Clay says foul ball, I believe. So Mike Clay recognizing this ball was fouled off by Doherty, and now the Vikings, who had headed back toward the third base dugout, are going to have to take the field again, and it's new life for the Oilmen in this 7th inning.
We'll see how that factors in after you think you get out of the inning. Vasquez has to come back out and make at least 1 more pitch. New life once again.
1-2 on Doherty. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air to left center. It'll be the center fielder to make the catch, and the inning comes to an end. No runs, no hits, and 1 left for the Oilmen in the 7th. 7 innings in the books. No score on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded. Make the smart choice. Land of Frost premium meat.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where there's a new pitcher on the mound, and it's a left-hander. Antonio Saldana is in for the Oilmen. Joey Turek's day is done. He will receive no decision. He goes 7 shutout innings of 6-hit ball, walking none and striking out 8. If I didn't have a strict no cheering in the press box policy, I would stand up and give a round of applause for Joey Turek, because his outing today earns it.
Yeah, a fine outing on the mound all the way around so far. Every pitcher out there. And that's where the unknown, the wild card, always comes in. Every time there's a pitching change, especially in a duel like this, you never know what you're going to get with that newcomer coming in from the pen.
Saldana is in a scoreless game in the 8th. Turek, 106 pitches. Here comes the first pitch to Gergoni, low and in for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. The season numbers now, 27 strikeouts and 2 walks for Oilman right-hander Joey Turek. 1 ball and no strikes on Gergoni. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. This is taken high for a ball, and it's 2-0.
We were just talking about all-star selections before the game today. His name has to be at least in the running with numbers like that.
No question. Oilman starting pitching staff has a lot of candidates. The 2-0 is inside for a ball, 3 balls and no strikes from Saldana. But the Oilman bullpen right now is a little bit thin at this point in the season. Ed Menright's just trying to get his team to the All-Star break to reset things with that pitching staff. This is taken high, ball 4-pitch walk. Couple guys are banged up. Bullpen is a little short-handed, and you become nervous in spots like this. With Saldana in there, he issues a 4-pitch walk to Gergoni, and now Pajot will step in with a runner on here in this 8th.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We just talked about how a new pitcher coming in, we didn't see a walk the entire time from Turek. And the first thing Saldana does is walk the leadoff man on 4 pitches.
Chow takes inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 5 straight have missed the zone since the lefty Saldana has entered the game. And the Oilmen are quickly going to have some movement over toward that right field bullpen, perhaps. Here's a ball swinging and swung on and lifted foul over our heads in the count 1-1. At least a few guys moving around down there in that pen in this tight game late.
Pajot had the big swing of the bat in yesterday's game at Dowling Park, a grand slam in the 5th inning. Bring the team within 1.
Pajot looks at this one low in the count 2-1. Grand slams never go out of style, do they?
Never.
2 balls and a strike on him.
Vikings not a lot of power on the team in general. 3 home runs on the season.
Dowling Park, always a tough place to hit home runs. The 2-1 is inside for ball 3, 3-1.
And not the time you want to lose control facing the top of the order for the Vikings.
Yeah, you're setting the table for the middle of that order potentially after a leadoff walk and now a 3-ball count on Pajot. And this is ball 4. He walked him. Back-to-back walks issued by the big lefty. Now Matt Merck will stand in with 2 outs and 2 on and nobody out, and Adam Enright is going to make his way to the mound here to have a word with Saldana. And while he does that, we will use this time to talk about one of the newest sponsors here on Oilman Radio and Oilman Broadcasting and the Oilman Broadcasting Network and the Oilman in general. It is White Castle. Instead of switching lanes, try switching flavors. White Castle now has 3 different versions of delicious chicken rings. New Hidden Valley Ranch, new Spicy Buffalo, or Classic. Try them all now at White Castle. It's a proud partner of the Northwest Indiana Oilmen. White Castle. Could use some chicken rings right about now. White Castle, a historic location here in Whiting.
Do you have a favorite kind of chicken wing, or do one of those new ones interest you?
I'm a kind of a plain guy, so I would go with kind of the plain chicken rings at White Castle. I personally don't get much sauce on anything, but I'm kind of peculiar in that way. Do you have a flavor? Would you go for the new Spicy Buffalo?
That is the one that piques my interest. I like the hot stuff, so that would be the one I'd try.
Speaking of hot, Saldana is playing with fire here in this 8th inning as the Vikings have runners at first and second and nobody out after back-to-back walks. And now it's the 3-hitter in the order, Matt Merck, standing in against the Oilman left-hander. Here's the set from Saldana and a square around to bunt, and instead Saldana looks the runners back.
Merck did attempt a couple of bunt tries his last time up with first and second.
Here's the pitch. He does square around to bunt, and he pulls back and takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Matt Merck.
Denty playing right at the edge of the grass over at third. The first baseman, O'Connor, was charging on that last attempt.
Here's the 1-0. and he fouled it at the plate, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. My only reservation about this from a Viking standpoint is Saldana is really struggling to throw strikes, and sometimes giving the guy an out can start to turn things around for him.
Yeah, especially fresh into the game. Sometimes that first out can be the hardest one to get.
1 ball, 1 strike on Merck. Here's the 1-1. This is way high and outside, and this does the job of the bunt. Boy, they're trying to give up the out, and Saldana throws one way high and outside. It's a wild pitch, and now no need to bunt if you're the Vikings, as the 2 men have reached scoring position with the runner from first moving up to second, Pajau, and Gorgoni advancing 90 feet to third on the wild pitch.
Yeah, that's a backbreaker if you're the Oilmen, because like you said, the Vikings are giving you out number 1, and now you have the RBI leader who's going to swing away.
Infield in, the 2-1, and look out. Did this hit him? If so, that's a break for the Oilmen that it hit him, and it did. It's a dead ball, and that prevented the run from coming in to score. But now bases are full of Oilmen. Adam Enright's going to make a pitching change. That's it for Antonio Saldana, and we're going to take a timeout and come back with more in a moment. He has pitched the Oilmen into a jam with 2 walks and a hit batter here in this 8th inning. And we will step aside and come back and tell you about the new Oilman pitcher after this. Scoreless tie, big moment coming up on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Football legend Tom Flores, a.k.a. the Iceman, a.k.a. the first Latino quarterback and head coach ever, a.k.a. why isn't he in the hall yet? Well, Coors Light is going to do something about it.
I'll drink to that.
You guys are crushing it. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasted, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded. Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual card, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Safety doesn't come in a box. It's not a banner that goes on a wall. It's not something you do now and then, or when it's convenient. It's using state-of-the-art simulators to better prepare for any situation. It's giving offshore teams onshore support, and it's empowering anyone to stop a job if something doesn't seem right. At BP, safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Back at Oil City Stadium, and the game's biggest moment is here. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Vikings in the top of the 8th inning. Saldana comes in and issues 3 straight free passes, and now Aaron Buchholz has his work cut out for him as the left-hander takes over 6'4", 190 from headed to the College of Lake County after graduating from Lyons Township this year. The LaGrange Park, Illinois native is in, and this is always tough, Januska, when you inherit a spot this tight.
Yeah, every time you bring in a new pitcher, you'd love to have them come in to start an inning or at least bases empty. You never know what's going to happen, one, when you bring in a new pitcher, as we saw with Saldana, but especially in a bases loaded situation.
Let's see if Buchholz can work some magic. Here's the first pitch high for a ball. The Oilmen received the go-ahead run on a ground ball up the middle in exchange for 2 outs. Buchholz, a 4.40 ERA, 14 1/3 innings of work, has walked 11 and struck out 11. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and popped up. Is this deep enough? It's shallow in center, and the center fielder Baker makes the catch, and the runner is going to have to hold as Baker delivers an absolute strike to the plate. So holding smartly at third was Gorgoni on the fly ball to center off the bat of Harris, and there's the first out.
Yeah, huge first out right there. One pitch from Buchholz, able to get out number 1 from Shamar Harris, but that throw from Baker on the money. Gorgoni would have been dead to rights if he attempted to go.
Nevels delivers, or awaits the pitch, and this is grounded foul right side as Buchholz delivers, and the count now 0 balls and 1 strike. Scoreless game in the 8th inning at Oil City Stadium. Here's the 0-1. Low for a ball, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Vikings have hit into the fewest double plays this year on account of their speed, but If you're the Oilmen, you are just one ground ball away.
Swing and a miss here. He fooled them on a bender in the dirt, and the count 1-2. Neville's hitting .351, but he's 1 for 3 here this evening on a night that hits have been at a premium on both sides. Here's the 1-2. This is low for a ball. Nice block by Phillips, and the count evens at 2-2.
Gargoni will be looking to pounce on anything that can get by Phillips behind the plate.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted in the air. Foul territory right side and drifting out of play. And we'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Right idea from Neville's. Just pushed it too far foul down the right side, but he's trying to hit something in the air to the outfield, driving that run from third.
Even after the first out recorded, the middle infield has stayed back here, looking for a double play now that could potentially end the inning. 2-2 on Neville's. 1 out and bases full of Vikings. We are in the 8th inning of a scoreless game. Buckholz the lefty into his motion. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This bounces away, and the go-ahead run's going to come in and score on a wild pitch. Whereas in the dust, and it bounced away from Phillips. Gargoni comes in and scores and charged that run to Saldana, who is on the hook for the loss. And this is now a full count at 3-2. And the Vikings lead this game by a score of 1-0. The 3-2, this is low and in. Nice job to block that one by Phillips, but it's ball 4 to Neville's. So it's the 3rd walk and the 4th free pass of the inning allowed by the Oilmen. And the Oilmen down 1-0, just trying to limit the damage here in this 8th.
And a powerful hitter, Caleb Rhodes. He has 1 home run at Oil City Stadium this year. A high fly ball that got out to right.
First pitch is a strike on Rhodes, and the count 0-1. 1 out, bases full of Vikings. Here's the pitch to Rhodes, low for a ball, lefty on lefty. 1 ball and 1 strike on Rhodes.
Rhodes is definitely the hitter the Vikings would love to have up right now. Very patient. He has a good other way approach. If you're just trying to drive in another run, he's a guy that can definitely do it.
Here's the 1-1. High and outside for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Falling behind here is Buckholz at 2-1. Wildness has been an issue for Oilmen pitching in this 8th inning. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. Boy, it would garner some momentum for the Oilmen if Buckholz can limit the damage here in this 8th. The Oilmen, the 8th inning, has been a good inning during this homestand. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a tapper foul. They took the lead in the bottom of the 8th in the game against the Panthers, and then held on to win. And then they took the lead last night against the Corn Dogs. Each of the last 2 nights, the 8th inning has been big for Northwest Indiana. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. He changed speeds on him and fooled them, and that is the 2nd out of this 8th inning.
Yeah, he took a lot off of that pitch. Rhodes was well out in front, and a big strikeout. Now a pinch hitter, that's Connor Janik, who's coming in to hit for Mike Gentile.
So Janik will come in as a pinch hitter. He is in left field, or will likely stay in the game in left field now. Here's the pitch inside for a ball. So pinch hitter in this spot. Bases full. He leaped out of the way of that one, or lunged out of the way. Working quickly. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. And the count evens out at 1-1. Huge, huge spot as the Vikings have gotten on the board and lead 1-0. The Oilmen are still very, very much in this game. And now there's an issue with the bat, and time is called. And some sort of issue will cause Janik to go get whatever they call that you rub on the bat.
Yeah, just something with the grip. It wasn't quite right. So he'll do some bat maintenance before heading back into the box. Big moment of the game.
Oilmen in the bottom of this inning will have 9, 1, and 2. Phillips, Denty, and Mastros in the last of the 8th. They'll be trailing the Vikings by at least a run. Here's the 1-1. Low and in for a ball 2-1.
Big pitch coming up right here. There's a big difference between 3-1 and 2-2.
Here comes the 2-1. And it's going to be a strike call, and the count 2-2.
See, now as a pitcher, you're right back in it. You even have a pitch to waste. You don't have to throw a strike here.
Here is the 2-2. Low for ball 3. Now we go full at 3-2. Now you do have to put one over on this payoff pitch, and the merry-go-round of Vikings will be in motion as the offering is delivered. Here comes the 3-2. This is swung on and grounded to second, and the play will go to first in time, and the inning ends. So the Vikings settle for the 1 run. Mastros makes that final play. They do it on no hits, and they leave the maximum. After 7.5, the new score, Southland 1 and the Oilmen nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Hold up, now do what you do. Get loud, go ahead, get loose. Get down to business, tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
The JED TV app is available on your smartphone and streaming devices. If you downloaded the WGLB Network app, then you're good to go. The same app with a new name. If not, head to the App Store on your phone or streaming device. And right now, you'll be able to watch JED in the Region Rush Hour, and all PNW and high school sports right in the palm of your hand or in the comfort of your own living room. That's the JED TV app, available on all streaming devices.
I've never seen ads on top of the roof where it's helping the community.
Back at Oil City Stadium, Georgie Vasquez is going to keep pitching for the Southland Vikings. Right now, he is in position for the win, and it's Saldana on the hook for the loss for the Northwest Indiana Oilmen after his wildness cost the Oilmen the go-ahead run in the top of this inning. But a nice job by Buckholz for the Oilmen, limiting the damage to 1.
Yeah, you come into a situation, bases loaded, nobody out. You never know what's going to happen. That is the formula for a crooked number if you're the Vikings. So like you mentioned in the top of the inning, it could give some momentum to the Oilmen to be able to get out of that spot, only allowing the 1.
And if you're the Vikings, you have to feel kind of frustrated. You were handed those base runners and the run on all walks, hit batters, wild pitches, but no clutch hits in that 8th inning for the Vikings. This is taken low and in for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes on Brennan Phillips, leading off the 8th inning for the Oilmen. Coming back 1-0 is Vasquez, the pitcher. His pitch is bounced foul left side over near Adam Enright, and the count evens out at a ball and a strike.
Yeah, you would have loved, especially when there was just 1 out and the bases loaded again, if you're the Vikings, to get just 1 insurance run, take a little bit of pressure off of Vasquez.
Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and lined to right. Right there to make the catch is Nevels on the soft line drive, and Phillips is the first out of the 8th inning. Big out. You wanted to retire the 9-man if you're Southland, because now the top of the Oilman order is due up, and it starts with Kevin Denty.
Yeah, always important to get that first out, especially when the lineup is about to roll over.
Here's the first pitch to Denty. It's taken for a strike, and the count 0-1.
Fireworks off in the distance here in Whiting.
Perhaps in anticipation of an Oilman rally. Here's the 0-1. This is taken outside for a ball, or in advance of Independence Day coming up on Tuesday. Here's the 1-1. Taken for a strike, and the count 1-2. 1-0 Vikings as we play bottom of inning number 8 at Oil City Stadium. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Vasquez. Swinging a ground ball to the left side. It's going to be a base hit. Base hit left field. Fitzharris dove for it, but it was in the hole between third and short, with Fitzharris shaded more towards second base. And Denty has his first hit of the day, and now it's the guy who's been on base all day long, Graham Mastros, with 1 out and 1 on.
Yeah, that's exactly who you want coming up if you're the Oilmen in this spot. Having a good day against both pitchers the Vikings have thrown out there. Hits against each.
He has 2 of the Oilmen 3 hits. First pitch to him is on its way. It's taken inside for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. By the way, Saldana goes 0+ innings. No hits, 1 run it was earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. Final line for the left-hander, who's right now on the hook. Here comes the 1-0. This is inside for a ball, 2-0. Oilmen have rallied in the 8th inning to take the lead each of the last 2 nights. And there's something extra special about rallying in the bottom of the 8th inning, because you're kind of like feeling like you're on the brink of a defeat, and then all of a sudden you're 3 outs away from a victory if you can take the lead in the bottom of the 8th, which is what the Oilmen did last night against the Corn Dogs and the night prior to that against the Panthers.
Yeah, maybe even set yourself up for a save situation, throw someone in there, bring in the closer. And it just changes the feel, especially at a home game.
Here's a pickoff throw to first, not in time. They're keeping a close eye at Denty, the runner at first.
Yeah, Vasquez has paid a lot of attention to anyone on the bases today.
2 balls and no strikes on Mastros. Vasquez comes back 2-0. This is taken high for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Time called, and the catcher Merck's going to go out and have a word with Vasquez.
Vasquez is a ground ball pitcher. I mentioned that earlier, so one reason why he might be trying to hold the runner is to keep that double play in order. But again, you have to attack the hitter as well. So far, pitching around Mastros.
3 balls and no strikes on Graham Mastros, who in this spot will likely take on 3-0. 1-0 Southland. They scored the go-ahead run on the top of this inning without the benefit of a hit in that frame. Hate to see it if you're the Oilmen, allowing a run without the other team really earning it. Here's the 3-0. This is swung on, and 1 hop to short, backhanded, throw to second, 1, and that's all. It's a 6-4 fielder's choice. Mastros swinging on 3-0, and Denty is retired at second on the fielder's choice for the second out of the inning.
That was a nice play by Fitzharris to make the backhanded grab, quickly go over to second. Surprised, though, that Mastros was swinging 3-0.
Now it's Chris Baker. Baker has come through in a lot of big moments in his Oilman career. Let's see if he can put one in a gap somewhere and tie this game. He takes a swing that was thinking about giving the Oilmen the lead and comes up empty in the count 0-1. Left-handed hitting Baker, 0 for 2. He did get hit by a pitch his first time. Lead at first for Mastros. Here's the 0-1 offering. This is a strike on the outer portion, and now it's 0-2.
Baker has done damage against the Vikings on the season. So far, hasn't quite squared them up today.
Vasquez comes back, 2 outs and 2 strikes, bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Runner goes, pitches, line down the right field line fair and rolling into the corner. Around second, headed for third is Mastros. He's going to try to score, and now the ball goes out of play. It appears the ball goes out of play, which would be a break for the Vikings, and Mastros would have to hold at third. Mike Clay is going to go over and verify that this ball did indeed leave an area that would make it a ground rule double, and that is going to be the call. It's a ground rule double, so no run here, even though initially appearing to cross the plate. And Baker, by the way, ran around all the bases just in case it was ruled in play by Mike Clay. But it goes as a double, and Mastros will be sent back to third. It remains 1-0 in favor of the Vikings. So instead of a game-tying extra base hit by Baker, a ground rule double bails out the Vikings, and now runners at second and third with 2 outs. Here comes Sullivan Stickhand to the mound.
Yeah, big break, at least for the moment, for the Vikings. 2-out situation. You are 1 pitch away from getting out of it unscathed. But if you're the Oilmen, big opportunity to not just tie the game, but potentially take the lead on a base hit.
So everybody around the mound, the biggest moment of the game here. Ground rule double a moment ago. Mastros sent back to third. You know, since as long as I've watched baseball, that's been the rule where if it's a ground rule double, you get 2 bases. But I've always kind of wondered why you would not allow the umpires to judge where the runners would have ended up had the ball stayed in play. And many times on those ground rule doubles, especially this one where the runner was running from first with the pitch, clearly would have scored had that ball stayed in play. But that's simply not the rule, and only getting third base on the play was Mastros on a very, very tough break for the Oilmen.
Yeah, if you leave it up to the umpire's discretion, you open it up to a lot more arguments, but not so much in that situation. Like you said, it would have been quite easy for Mastros to score, most likely.
Slow it in for a ball. Obviously, it's not the rule. It's clearly the right call for him to be placed at third, but it's just not what would have happened had the ball stayed in play. But that's baseball. A lucky bounce here and a lucky bounce there, but can the Vikings take advantage, or can Comia come through? Here's the 1-0, low and outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes on Jaden Comia. Baker spanked one just fair down the right field line that appeared to tie this game, but it went out of play in foul territory somehow down that right field line. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss, and the count 2-1.
Big healthy cut from Jaden Comia on that one.
Comia 0 for 3 on the game. Ball game on the line right here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. 2 outs in the inning. Here's the 2-1. This is low for a ball, and we go to a hitter's count of 3-1.
First base is open, so Vasquez doesn't have to challenge him. O'Connor on deck.
1-0 Vikings, bottom of the 8th. Here's the set and the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. It may have been a little bit upstairs. Instead, we go full at 3-2.
He did challenge him, came right back with the high heat. The fans yelling that he swung at ball 4.
3-2 on Comia. Big payoff pitch coming up. Swinging a high bouncer to the left side. The third baseman fields it. His throw to first is going to be in time, and the inning ends. Out at first on a close play, Comia, and the side is retired. The Oilmen get no runs on 2 hits and leave 2. We have played 8. It remains Southland 1 and the Oilmen nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
These days, it's recommended that you keep your social circle small. Of course, as the original light beer, we've always recommended that. It's Miller time.
BP's natural gas teams use smart app technology to share data from any well instantly, so they can analyze trends and stop potential problems in their tracks, because safety is never being satisfied and always working to be better.
Hello, Hoosier fans. Jim Coyle with Indiana Sports Beat Radio, the only show that covers the Hoosiers, the Big Ten, the Colts, the Pacers, and more. And now you can catch us each Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 on WJOB, the voice of the region. Daily guests like Don Fisher, Mike DeCourcy, Bob Kravitz, and Rick Bozich, the coaches, the players, and playmakers. You'll find them all on Indiana Sports Beat Radio with Jim Coyle, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1 on 1230 a.m. and 104.7 FM.
Who is the IBEW? We're the people who bring the power to your home, the ones who make sure your phone calls and internet keep speeding along. We build things like schools and hospitals. We bring the biggest shows and sporting events to the world, keep America's railroads on the right track, help cities, states, and the federal government work for you. And we proudly build products made in the USA. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW.
Back at Oil City Stadium as we take it to inning number 9, 1-0 in favor of the Vikings. There's a new pitcher on the mound, and it's a right-hander. Tanner Sobkowiak is on to work for the Oilmen. The day is done for Buckholtz. He goes a shutout inning, walks 1. The go-ahead run did score when he was in the game, but it was a great outing by Buckholtz. No hits, no runs charged to his ledger, and he struck out none. As coming in with the bases loaded and nobody out, I consider that a win for Aaron Buckholtz.
Yeah, definitely. He did what his job was, the one wild pitch he would like back. But outside of that, he limited the damage, which is exactly your job, coming in bases loaded, nobody out.
Swing and a miss by Hobbs Dunn, and the count 0-1.
Hobbs Dunn was looking to add an insurance run right there on that swing.
Here's the 0-1. This is taken low for a ball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike, undone.
And, of course, that key moment in the top of the inning, or rather the bottom of the previous inning, was the ball going out of play down the right field line.
Yeah, in case you missed it, the 1-1 outside for a ball, 2-1. Chris Baker smoked one just fair down the right field line and rolling into the corner. And running with the pitch from first was Graham Mastros. He would have scored easily to tie this game at 1, but instead it got out of play down that right field line. The 2-1 is swung on and lifted in the air to center. Chris Baker, who hit that ball that we're talking about, makes the catch for the first out of the 9th inning. And instead of a 1-1 tie, it's still 1-0 in favor of the Vikings.
Oilmen are always a tough team to put away, though. Still 3 outs to work with. That's too many if you ask Sullivan Stickan and the Vikings. He said he's never comfortable, even if it's like a 3-run lead here at Oil City Stadium.
It'll be O'Connor, Stressler, and Rossi in the bottom of this 9th inning. Here's a strike, and the count 0-1 on Fitzharris.
Vikings would love nothing more than to get some insurance, a little bit of a cushion here this inning.
0-1, the pitch on the way. Look out, this is way high and in. Ducking out of the way of it was Fitzharris, and the count 1-1.
Fitzharris just attracts the ball to him. He leads the league in hit by pitches. He's worn 11 of them this year.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count on Fitzharris. Here's the 1-1. This is high for a ball, and the count 2-1. Another low-scoring game. 2-1 win for the Oilmen last night. That score sounds pretty good right now, by the way, for this evening. 2 balls and a strike, the count on Fitzharris, but another low score, 1-0 Vikings. Here's the 2-1. It's taken for a strike, and the count 2-2.
Fitzharris with that 1 hit back in the 3rd inning. Tried to bunt his way on his last time up. Nice play from Phillips behind the plate to retire him.
Here's the 2-2, and this is fisted foul right side, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's one of those, if it catches you in the wrong spot, that one stings. Could even catch your hand. He appears to be okay. Riding in up on the hands.
A 1-0 ball game. We've had some fun games here of late. Tight games. Here's the 2-2. This is high and in for a ball, and now we go full at 3-2.
That's what it's all about. As fun as blowouts are, sometimes you need those tight ones just to add that excitement.
3-2. I'll take tight games each and every night.
Yep.
Here's the 3-2. This is swung on and lifted foul out of play. Haven't even had time to get to the trivia tonight. Might have to hold it over for tomorrow night. 3-2, the count on Fitzharris.
Zach's happy about that.
He has tomorrow night off, and potentially related news. Here comes the 3-2. This is taken high and in for ball 4 as Fitzharris draws the walk.
For whatever reason, he just doesn't like doing the trivia question when I'm in the booth.
He seems a little intimidated. Runner on first with 1 away, and Jimmy Gergoni will stand in next, the top of the order, after walking the 9-man Fitzharris. Vikings out hitting the Oilmen 6-4 and leading the column that counts 1-0. Here's the pitch to Gergoni. This is taken high for a ball.
He drew that walk and came around to score the lone run of the ball game in the 8th.
1 ball and no strikes on Jimmy Gergoni. Here's the 1-0. This is taken for a strike in the count 1-1. Joey Turek, 7 shutout innings. Jack Otis, 5 shutout innings of 1 hit ball for the Vikings. Both starters will receive no decisions here tonight. It is a game of the bullpens. Here's the 1-1. It's high for ball 2. Again, Military Appreciation Night coming up on Saturday. Another matchup with the Corn Dogs. But the Oilmen a real opportunity tonight. If they can rally, they could take over first place for the first time all season long. Here's the 2-1. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right and out of play. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Jack Fitzharris is paying close attention to Subkowiak on the mound. See if he takes off on the 2-2. Seems to be timing him up.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is swung on and lifted foul off to the right and out of play. And now the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Remains the count from Sobkowiak. Lead at first for Fitzharris, being held by O'Connor. And the 2-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to the left side. This will be a flip to second one. The relay throw to first is going to be not in time. It is 6-4 on the fielder's choice. And they get the out at second base on Fitzharris for the second out of the inning.
Just another example right there of speed sometimes breaking it up. That's what it was, a softly hit ball. Not a lot the Oilmen could do, but they're able to get the lead runner, which is big.
Now it'll be Pajau standing in. First pitch to Pajau is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. Go ahead.
Especially after you have a pitcher who walks 3 to start the 8th inning, it's good to just see someone throwing strikes. That's what Subkowiak has done so far.
No question. Here's the 0-1. This is high for a ball. The game against the Vikings stands out where Subkowiak in the game at Dowling Park had control issues of his own, but he's had good success throwing it over the plate so far here tonight. The 1 walk, but 2 outs recorded. Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and lifted in the air to shallow right, very shallow, as in second base. And Mastros makes the catch, and that is the inning. No runs, no hits, and 1 left for the Vikings in the 9th. We have played 8.5. I know you won't go anywhere. It's the Vikings 1 and the Oilmen nothing on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now, you do.
When life takes you places and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strack and Van Til to go. Our to-go service is easy to use, and it can save you time and money. Once your order is in, our own Strack and Van Til team preps your order with care. For delivery or pickup, enjoy the convenience of letting our to-go team shop for you. Enjoy your special moments. Sign up online today at shop.strackandvantil.com.
Crushing. See how 8 grams of healthy protein in Land of Frost premium meat gives you energy and keeps you full. Let's get those buns toasting, bread. Cheese, 10 more. Go.
I'm getting shredded.
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
Back at Oil City Stadium, where the Oilmen are trying to stage a late rally. It'll be Georgie Vasquez still pitching for the Southland Vikings. The Vikings clinging to a 1-0 lead. The line score looks like this: 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error for the Vikings. No runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the Oilmen. It'll be Brendan O'Connor to lead things off in this 9th inning. We've got some high drama late as the Vikings try to hold on to a potential shutout win.
Yeah, Vasquez currently in line for the win. It's in his own hands, at least to start the 9th inning. Clinging to that 1-run lead.
It'll be the 5, 6, and 7 men in the Oilman order. That leadoff man always huge in the 9th inning. First pitch is a strike, and the count 0-1 on O'Connor, who is 0 for 3. Can he find a way to reach and get the tying run on base right away? The 0-1 is smashed to left. That's a base hit. Leadoff single to left for O'Connor. He strokes a sharp single in the left field, and there's a positive start for the Oilmen in this 9th inning.
Yeah, you asked the question, and O'Connor immediately answered it. Yes, he can reach. Solid single to left field.
So Brendan O'Connor on first. Brendan Stressler standing in. Brandon Vickery and Brandon Januska with you here in the 9th inning at Oil City Stadium. Here's the first pitch. It's looked at for a strike, and the count 0-1. The potential tying run is on first base in this 9th against Vasquez. 1-0 in favor of the Vikings. The go-ahead run scored without the benefit of a hit in the 8th inning for Southland. Here's the 0-1. This is swung on and stroked to left, and this is going to get over the head of the left fielder, Janik. That's an extra base hit. O'Connor headed toward third. He'll get there safely, and standing at second base with a double is Brendan Stressler. And with nobody out here in the ninth, the potential tying run is at third base, and the potential winning run stands at second base.
Yeah, that's what makes it even bigger, is you're not even worried about tying the game at this point if you're the Oilmen. You want to win it right here.
Ethan Rossi will stand in next. 1-0 in favor of the Vikings as we play the ninth inning at Oil City Stadium. Big moment in this game right here. Rossi standing in. Ball game on the line.
Infield playing in all the way around.
Swing and a miss, and the count no balls and 1 strike. The potential tying run is at third, and a base hit to the outfield could send everybody home happy. 0 for 2 is Rossi. He drew a walk in the 7th. 1-0 Vikings, bottom of inning number 9. Here's the 0-1. This is low for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Vasquez has been pitching ever since he took over at the beginning of the 6th inning. Let's see, his pitch count is in the mid to upper 50s now. Here's the 1-1. This is swung on and cracked down the left field line, hooking foul ball.
Just foul by about 5 feet or so. Wasn't right on the line, but just a little bit out in front. That would have won the game.
1-2 on Rossi. Runners take their leads at second and third. Big moment here in this 9th inning with the Vikings clinging to a 1-0 lead.
Vasquez could use a big strikeout here. Then I'd be interested to see if they intentionally walk to load him up.
Here's the 1-2, and look out, this hits him. The bases are going to be loaded. Bases full of Oilmen. Rossi gets hit by a pitch, and as big as it came with a 1 ball and 2 strike count. And now there is nowhere to put Nick Doherty as he will stand in with the bases full. And here comes Sullivan sticking to the mound. Let's see what he wants to do here. Does he want to stick with Vasquez in this 9th inning?
It looks like Julian Hatcham is warm. Matt Maloney down there by the bullpen as well. At least he's standing up out there. Maybe he's not actually warmed up. Now sits back down, so it looks like it is going to be Vasquez. Game rests in his hand. He is the pitcher of record right now on the positive side, but that could flip in a hurry.
Sullivan's conversation on the mound is over after the entire infield was in for the Vikings. It is 1-0 in favor of Southland, but Oilmen runners are at all 3 bases. It'll be Rossi at first, Stressler at second, and O'Connor representing the tying run at third base. Nick Doherty standing in.
And the Vikings are still playing for the win. They want to eliminate that run at the plate instead of going for 2 to yield a tie.
Yeah, infield in, as Januska alluded to. Here's the first pitch. This is low for a ball. Good block by the catcher, Merck. He didn't locate it immediately, but it was off to his right in front of him, and no chance for O'Connor to score the tying run.
And a nice job by Vasquez as well to sprint to the plate to cover.
1 ball and no strikes on Doherty. O'Connor at third and Stressler the runner at second. 1-0 Vikings as we play bottom of inning number 9 on a Thursday night at Oil City Stadium. Here's the 1-0. This is swung on and cracked to center. It's going to get down for a base hit. Scoring the tying runs O'Connor. Here comes Stressler toward the plate. Oilmen win 2-1. The Oilmen have walked off. They beat the Southland Vikings by a score of 2-1. Nick Doherty, the hero tonight, as he sends everyone home happy with a walk-off single to center. It's the Oilmen 2 and the Southland Vikings 1. The Oilmen are in first place all alone as they beat the Southland Vikings by a 2-1 score. For the first time all season, they have usurped the Lake County Corn Dogs, and the first place Oilmen are celebrating after the walk-off win over the Southland Vikings here tonight. Oilmen 2 and the Vikings 1 is our final score. I want to thank everybody involved in our broadcast as we get set to say goodbye. Jackson Baker, it was John Janiga, produced by Zach Carr. We will talk to you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock pregame, 7:10 first pitch. Oilmen and the Panthers, I'll be with you, and Nick Kane will be with me. For Brandon Januska, Brandon Vickery saying, I hope you enjoyed the final score in walk-off fashion, the Oilmen 2 and the Southland Vikings 1. Please stay tuned for the post-game show. That will feature Zach when we come back on the Northwest Indiana Oilmen Broadcasting Network.
Wait! Let me help! Land of Frost! Premium meat! Delicious! And no byproducts!
Toss it in.
Et moi?
Okay.
Whee!
Make the smart choice. Land of Frost Premium Meat.
The Jed TV Sports Network is now the exclusive home to 8 schools. Subscribe today for a full year of sports coverage by using code JEDTV50 at checkout. Visit jedtv.com for more information.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra. Now you do.
Hold up, now do what you do. Get loud, go ahead, get loose. Get down to business, tell everyone nothing's off limits. You can have anything you want.
Welcome back to the Oilmen postgame, where the Oilmen walk it off on a Nick Doherty single up the middle, 2-1 against the Southland Vikings. The Southland Vikings have had the Oilmen's number all season long here at the Oil City Stadium, but today Oilmen end up on top after trailing for majority of the game in a low scoring as well pitching duel for the Oilmen and the Vikings. Last couple games have been very low scoring, not a lot of high scoring like we saw at the beginning of the year, but the Oilmen continue on their winning ways here at Oil City Stadium, especially against the Southland Vikings today, which is huge because for some reason they've had their number. But that'll do it tonight for the Oilmen as they get ready to play tomorrow back here at the Oil City Stadium at 7:10. Brandon Vickery will be on the call. I believe it will be Charlie Harris as well with him as they take on the Miracle. Everyone enjoy the rest of your night as Oilman superfan Mike Jones goes around clapping. Very happy man tonight. Everyone stay safe and enjoy the rest of your night.